Yep.
and what that should look like, and a lot of directors being left out over and over and over when it's their area. A lot of concerns we heard on that. It was a good meeting.
It was
Okay,
a really good meeting.
we're ready to go at 11 o'clock. Well, yeah, that was talked about. And the guy actually made the statement that director is the stupidest label he has ever.
It diminishes what we do.
Yeah, Lidstone did a really good job.
Yeah, Lidstone did. Yeah, it was good.
Okay, everybody, are we ready to go?
We don't have Sharon.
No.
Well, we're starting because it's 11 o'clock. She'll join in.
Sounds good.
In the spirit of respect, truth, and reconciliation, we honor and thank the Indigenous peoples on whose traditional and unceded lands we operate. The agenda is, as you see, are there any additions or changes to that agenda, please? And if not, I'd like a motion. Thanks, Bill, seconded by Linda. And Doug. Anyone not in favor? Okay, let's do the same thing with the minutes. Any changes to the minutes, anyone?
Motion to adopt.
Thank you, Ally, seconded by Frank. I saw your hand. Okay. Anyone not in
Yes.
favor? Okay, consent agenda, we don't have any. And general delegations, we don't have any. And we have no unfinished business because we are so good at the business that we have. New business, Goran, this is Beaver Valley Water Service Operational Water Reports. So do you want to speak to them?
No, I just a bit of a narrative. So this meeting will catch us up on a lot of our reporting as we got the budget approved, and thank you all for your support through that process. And then also I'm going to be away here last week of March and first week of April for a couple of weeks. So we're going to probably cancel the utilities meeting, if that's okay.
Yep, that's just fine. Yep.
And then if there's anything urgent, that could all go straight to the board.
Okay, Ally?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just wanted to comment on the water reports submitted by Jeff Mason. High fives to Jeff. I think he does a fantastic job keeping us informed on what's going on behind the scenes. I think his detail is important and I really appreciate it. I've already told him he's done a great job. I'm just sharing that with Goran and the committee and Bill. Thank you.
Right on. Always important to give credit. Okay, so if you're all good with that, can I have a motion for receipt, please?
So moved, Andy.
Thank you, Andy. Seconded by.
Ally?
Okay, anyone not in favor of that? Okay, let's go on, Gordon, to the East End Regionalized Sewer Service and flow meter reports. This is also for receipt. Keep in mind, everyone. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the flow reports are sent on a monthly basis. Doing better this year than previous years in terms of getting these reports sent in monthly, which is mostly associated with the consultant. And again, if there's any questions or concerns.
Okay, anybody?
Just one comment, Goran, through the chair.
Yes, please, Frank.
I was very surprised for Warfield's report at Christmas time, around the 2 weeks, we had almost as much flow as Roslyn. So I'm asking myself, what does that mean about Warfield residents? Anyways, there must be a lot of people coming back home for Christmas.
I don't know. There is a pipe directly in the creek bed. That's how I can answer that.
There you go.
I could go for a walk and I could show you. It's embedded in the bed of the creek.
There you go.
Okay, then.
I don't know if that answers your question.
I think we'll leave it alone.
No shit.
Well, I don't know, did you look?
Okay, for receipt, can I have a motion if there's no other questions on this, Frank? Seconded by Bill. Anyone not in favor of that? Okay, Christina Lake Water Utility, I am fine with this unless anybody wants any more information about it. And I would be happy if somebody motions it for me. Bill, seconded by
Me.
Thank you. Anyone not in favor? Okay, let's go on to East End Regionalized Sewer Service monthly operations. Once again, for receipt. Okay, my dear friend?
Oh, not much to discuss here. They're just reports, and I don't know if everybody had the chance to read them or if there's any questions about them. Obviously, we're focusing on the project.
Okay, anybody?
All looks good to me. I'm happy to make a motion.
Okay, seconded by.
Terry.
Thank you, Terry. Anyone have any other comments here? All right,
Better slow down a little bit, Chair.
okay.
Thank you. Haha, just kidding.
I do that.
Did Sharon join yet? I don't.
Sure.
I haven't seen Sharon.
Okay.
Okay, anyone not in favor of that? Okay, we are now on East End Water Utilities water reports. Uh-oh,
No, we're good.
okay, no. For receipt as well. Let's
So
talk
moved.
about these. Okay, seconded, anybody?
Sure.
Okay, any questions there from anyone? No? Anyone opposed? Okey dokey then. Did Sharon ever join us? Or maybe she didn't join us because, streetlights isn't on here or whatever, right? Okay. For receipt is the solar aquatic. Do you want to talk about the solar aquatic for a minute?
Solar Aquatic is just operating along. Nothing major.
Okay, how's our plants doing?
Plants are doing great ever since we installed
Baskets.
the baskets or the plant holders, and I haven't heard any issues.
Okay, Linda.
Since we're maybe taking a little more time,
We
maybe
can
we can
have-
make it to 15 minutes.
That's your fault, you guys, for not asking enough questions.
But if I canceled this meeting, then it'd be tough for me to cancel the next meeting.
Exactly. No, I'll just keep
Yeah.
it.
So we're happy
You're
here.
joshing.
I know.
We're happy to be here. Can you tell us about the plants? What kind of plants are in that? Besides aquatic, what kind of plants are in there?
Ones with
No,
big leaves.
not
Yeah,
an aquatic specialist, but we did have Graham. Remember, we actually had fisheries and
We had all of them.
biologists
Yeah.
kind of look at the different kind of plants that, so I could get, I know the Christina Lake Stewardship Society
Yeah.
hold like a little, they have like a little inventory of
Yes.
plants.
Yes.
Maybe I could send that
I
out.
would love to see it. I'm very interested. It was years ago when I took a tour of them.
Yeah, we did take a tour.
A tour. It was quite some time ago, and I would really welcome another tour of that facility. It's
Right.
so important. It was so beyond the times at the time.
Yeah, it was.
And I wish more would catch up to that
Quite
process.
a few things to show up at Christina Lake.
Yeah, we will have.
It would be nice. It'd
Oh,
be
no, you
nice
have
to
the dog.
have just a tour of Christina Lake and the facilities and the improvements and the proposed walking bridge, all those things.
Yeah, we could put them on a list for next year. Maybe this year's full, so
Yeah.
maybe next year we could
Yeah.
put that on the list if
Yeah.
some of you want to see that, Bill.
Through the chair, I have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's
It treats sewage
with plants.
with plants in great big tanks.
Okay, I got it now.
And in it, well, seeing as how we have a little time, we put that in there with a grant.
Yeah.
And the reason we did that was Christina Lake has never wanted a large pipe sewer system because we're so sprawled out, right? So I saw a mini one of this done many years ago, and when we put the welcome center in, I said, I think we need to look for a grant to put solar aquatic in for sewage, and that's what we did. It's been completely granted, and it processes sewage. You can have it ramped up. Right now, it could handle sewage on the south end of the lake, but you can ramp that up. You can also do little tiny systems, Bill. So that's what I wanted Christina Lake to look at. If they became interested on the upper parts of the lake and having some kind of sewer processing, then a small one of these would work without a big pipe system. So that's why. And it's very warm in there. And there's all these plants that process. correct?
Yeah.
All right then.
Looks like a greenhouse.
Yeah, it's really cool. They did tour once.
It is really cool, yeah.
How many homes, Grace, how many homes and, or businesses does it have on it currently, support?
Right now, it only has the welcome center, but it could do
Okay.
the whole south end of the lake.
Really?
Should we want to make that move? That move, of course, is costly, as you know, Andy, pipes cost money, right?
No, it
And-
costs money.
Yeah, and at some point, I think Christina Lake's gonna have to look at that. It can also cross the road and take care of, what used to be the time and place and some of those lots, should they want to do that. So that's what it's designed to do. And whether we go down that road or not, at some point, it'll be long after I'm gone, if you will. So, yeah, so right now, it's underutilized, frankly. And there are tanks that aren't used in it, but we could also add more to it. You want to guess on how many homes we could? You probably know the answer to that.
On each one, on the solar aquatic
Yeah.
current one? I get to probably 200,
Yeah, yeah. And you can ramp that way up.
yeah.
And if you had existing pipes in the ground already, you could just hook them up to a system like that.
If you had them,
If
yeah.
you had them already in.
Well, you'd have to have these around.
Yeah, but if you had if you had the infrastructure of the piping already in it, let's say a municipality wanted to go to something like this, they could do the individual plugs for 200 here and 200, whatever it is, for homes, and put that in instead of the $72 million.
Yeah, there's an RV park on the island that has a solar aquatic, and it handles all the sewage on that RV park. Though there is, a couple little drawbacks, like seniors, for instance, are often on a lot of medication. And so you have to be really careful about that because it'll kill the bacteria that processes. So you would have to pre-do some of that sewage as it's coming in.
We do,
Yeah,
Pre-treat.
pre-treat.
so pre-treat, okay.
Pre-treat, yeah. So, but it's been really good for us, and people have toured it from all over the place, so it's good. Yeah, alternate ways to do things,
That's right.
right? Okay, everybody, anything
See,
else?
Terry's got his hand up.
Terry, where are you?
I'm in a village called Sunningdale.
Can't find you. There you are.
So just a question. Thank you through the chair, Grace. When that plant's been there for a long time, have you ever gone to the community and actually asked them if they would be interested in that? And the second question is, I know this is a hard one. There's got to be grants through the province to a sewer treatment plant. I'm just curious what the cost might be to just do those 200 homes.
Yeah, like I say, it's the piping. And yes, we have offered that to one of the developments that was on the corner of Santa Rosa Road. And they would have been able to utilize their whole piece of property if they'd have gone down that road. And they decided not to do that. And it was the cost for them, but we probably would have shared a little bit of that cost. But they shut that down. I think it's hard for people to get out of the norm, if you will, septic norm, and look at something that offers a better solution. I believe it's always difficult for people to see that.
Yeah, you'd have to do it under a strata, or
Yeah.
a separate utility.
And the other thing is, when we first did it, the province was reluctant to even license it, if you will, because they didn't know a lot about it. So we were breaking ground. So we had to bring somebody from Alberta. We brought somebody from the island. And in order to have that conversation, and I think $320,000 went into that, and that was back in 2017,
2016, 17, yeah.
somewhere around there. When we built the Welcome Center, we never did put a septic system in. We put up the solar aquatic.
And it's tough because IHA also like their septic permitting is so wonky, is it broken? Because really a lot of these septic systems are not working as they're supposed to, have aged out,
Yeah,
and no one's really regulating that or overseeing the maintenance of them. So a lot of these communities like Christina Lake that depend on the lake are having issues with eutrophication of the lake. And so that argument to replace a 40-year-old septic system that's still working versus going to it's tough to ask people to put in quite a bit of,
what
right?
we're,
Like it would cost to build a plant or a sewer plant and put in all the infrastructure would be such a huge cost to the community that
we are
people
still.
would say, but if everybody was told, hey, you got to replace all your septic systems to meet regulations, then, right?
Yeah.
Then people would be like, oh, well,
And that's kind of what happened. They asked me about that, and we said that we would still look for another grant to do a full study. We've done a small study on that. It came back X amount of millions, and people just kind of walked away. So when I was first elected, when I was knocking on doors, I talked to them about a sewer system, and they literally said to me, do not talk to me about it. I had to buy extra property to pump my sewage, and I'm not interested in putting another how many thousands of dollars into any system right now. So I think the only ones that would go down this road are some of the south end, like where the old sawmill was, Terry, you remember that, and across the road where the time and place is, and I think there may be interest there at some point, depending on who develops this.
Notice the Chair, I noticed in the statement that refers to volunteers working there at the plant or whatever it is.
There's,
that's the stewardship society.
That's the stewardship, yeah.
They're kind of volunteers and not, we give them a grant or what do we?
yeah, we grant them 20,000 to look after that every year, and they cut the plants, they do all that, and then of course we've got the water guy that goes in there and tests to make sure that that's always where it should be. But you guys, tour it sometime. Yeah, it's fun. Well,
It is, yeah, it is a fascinating plant. I wonder, do they have to do a secondary treatment after that, like into a conventional septic system, or is the water clean enough to discharge at that point?
Oh, no, it gets discharged into a septic field.
just a feel.
So, so with septic systems, there's usually a tank, right?
Right.
For the sludge, and then the liquids go and then go into the field, and that's similar. But still, the liquids, after they're treated, they go into septic
What
field, but
what we
liquids are
wanted, the liquid to come out of there into a wetland.
Hmm.
We wanted to create a wetland because we knew that the wetland would also purify it further. And a lot of this info came out in New York, actually, where they've done a lot of this. And the health wouldn't let us do it. You know, honestly, they're so narrow-minded when it comes to stuff like that. We've got to get out of that
right,
mold.
it still had to have an IHA permit, right?
Yeah, still had to have an IHA permit, and they wouldn't go down that road.
It still had to work within the whole IHA permitting process, which I believe is flawed or not regulated or not, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, did we have a motion and a seconder?
No.
Okay, we have a motion and a seconder. Bill?
Yeah, yeah, moved, Ally.
Okay, anyone not in favor of that? Okay, can we ask for late items? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about so that we look like we went longer?
We're not bad. You saved us there. We're 19 minutes.
Okay, then. All right, we got past 15. So can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Ally did that.
Yep, see you guys shortly. Thanks, everyone. Very efficient running of a meeting, Grace. Wow, very impressed. Good job.
No worries.
There
See
you
you
go.
guys at the board.
Soldier
Bye.
on. Bye. I just had to extend that meeting, but I had to ask because I